On tonight's episode, we talk about Wonder Woman 1984.
And other pop culture news.
Alright.
Hey! Is that music that nobody knows the lyrics again? It's the last episode of the year, so Happy New Year.
Yeah.
2020 was bad, but guess what? 2021 might be worse.
It could, or the same, or better. It's full of promise and potential.
Sure.
I don't know. My sister just got the COVID vaccine today, so I'm feeling optimistic.
Yeah, I don't know if getting the vaccine is a good thing. Someone got the vaccine and got sick.
Okay, one person got sick.
But they always start with one, right?
Yeah, but after a bunch of studies and a bunch of other people around the world getting it, one guy got sick.
Well, we'll see.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay, so on this week's episode, last week on Christmas, we saw Wonder Woman 1984 with Gadot, directed by Patty Jenkins. And so, spoiler alert.
Yep.
Because life is good, but it could be better.
So says Max Lord, played by the wonderful Pedro Pascal.
But the Pascal that played a character on the Wonder Woman show, on the pilot.
That's right.
That never seen the light of day. I think you might be able to find online somewhere, but it didn't became a show. It was just a pilot, and it wasn't approved by CW.
Yeah.
It was with Adriana. I can't remember.
Oh, that's right. The girl from the Orville, the first officer. Yeah. Well, at any rate, he got to come back as Max Lord, a fantastic villain for this film. We also had Kristen Wiig and Chris Pine. So, phenomenal director, incredible cast, and a pretty decent screenplay. We also had Robin Wright and returning with their roles as Antiope and Hippolyta.
And Connie Newson? That's Hippolyta.
Yeah, that's what I said. Who's
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So what'd you think?
I liked it. The movie. The movie's jumps in time from 1919. Is that what the first one was? To 1984. And Diana's working in Washington D.C. as a museum restorator museum.
Yeah, she's doing like cultural anthropology type
Yeah.
stuff at the Smithsonian. Very cool. But she is still going out and, in her armor and as an Amazon and protecting people and saving people from the bad guys. But she's kind of doing it on the DL. Like, we see her take out security cameras and things like that. So she's not making a big deal about it. She's not really a public figure as Wonder Woman. So she's still very active, just quiet about it.
Yeah. So the movie starts right when she goes save the day on a mall heist. Some low class, low life criminals trying to rob this jewelry at the mall, very 80s mall, and she stopped them. And that whole thing, the whole heist was it has consequences to the plot of the movie, because once the FBI recovers everything that was stolen from the mall, they get something that is a main thing throughout the whole movie. Is this rock called? There's no name, right? Yeah, I don't think there's a name.
No, they don't give it a name.
But there's a...
Yeah, because it wasn't really a jewelry store. It was just a front for a black market ancient artifacts and fine art and things like that.
So she goes and fight the criminals through the mall, and her whole action sequence. She uses her powers
Including her lasso. A lot of lasso in this movie.
And
which is not a bad thing.
Curious fact, there's rumors, theories, fans that watch the movie, and so there's a moment that she has an interaction with this little girl, this little black girl, and there's like people already saying, pulling a stupid Marvel BS, if you remember. There was a kid on Iron Man 3, on 2 actually, Iron Man 2, that Iron Man saves, and he's wearing an Iron Man mask, and then fans are like, oh, that could be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige just has a stupid joke, or like to please the fans. It was more like a joke. He said, yes, that was Peter Parker. It wasn't. Anyways, on this movie, some people are saying that the black girl would be Amanda Waller, that inspired by Wonder Woman would become. But Amanda Waller is like, she's like, she's not a good person.
No, and I feel like they're just like picking like, who's a black woman who'd be about the right age?
Yeah, so
I feel like that's a stretch.
No, if some executive comes to say that, it's baloney. It's just like,
yeah,
you're right. No, it's not. Anyways, so the that artifact that is found by the FBI ends up at the Smithsonian, where Diana works, among other people.
Yes.
Also one, what's her name?
Barbara Minerva.
Played
by Kristin Wiig.
Yeah.
Who is a gemologist, among many other specialties.
And she's gonna analyze that, and both they talk, and that's how they meet pretty much, and they realize that that's fake. That's not.
Yeah, like
that's
it's
not rare or
special.
special.
Like citrine. Like it's a pretty worthless rock, but it has this band around it with a mysterious Latin inscription. So it's old, but it's not like.
Yeah, and we find out that rock gives people wishes. One wish for each person.
Yeah.
And that rock is not randomly there. Someone hired people all the way to Egypt to get that rock. And that's our main antagonist. His name is Maxwell Lord. He's the guy that comes on TV. It's like, life is good, but it could be better. And he's selling oil stocks.
Yeah, like shares or something in an oil company.
It's a black gold cooperative.
Yeah.
And he wants that rock.
Yeah.
Fun fact: when they how did they discover that piece? Realize wishes.
Something about the inscription.
The translation.
On it. Yeah, I don't remember the exact translation, but it's something like making a wish and put this on, or something like that. And so
innocently, Diana grabs the rock and wishes her biggest wish ever.
Yeah, they're just chatting like, oh, what would you wish for?
And she wishes to have Steve Trevor, Chris Pine's character, back. And Diana is so incredible that Minerva, Barbara, right? Barbara. Desires wishes to be like her.
Yeah.
And they both get their wishes.
Yes, in unexpected ways. In the meantime, Maxwell Lord, we find out that his company is a total sham. He's got this big building, but it's empty. He's got like 2 employees. They're both receptionists. It's just all a fraud, and it's essentially like a Ponzi scheme. Like the only way he keeps it functioning is by getting more and more people to invest, and that's the only cash flow that he has. And so he is trying to get his hands on this stone so that he can become like the greatest and the most powerful and everything else. So he finally gets his hand on the stone, and he wishes to become the stone itself. So now, instead of this object that grants wishes, he's the one who can grant wishes. And so that's when things start to take a turn. Well, that, and then at this big gala event at the Smithsonian, Diana realizes, like, oh wait, like, there's Steve. He shows up, sort of, in the body of another man, but she sees Steve and
and it's a very interesting story. It's like it has beginning, middle, and end. And
as stories often do.
you don't need you almost like you don't need to see the first one. If you didn't see the first one, you still enjoy this. There's nothing essential to understand, to enjoy this one. Even the whole whatever happened to Steve. I mean, Steve dying. It's like explained in 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah.
And it works just fine, and it's the impact on the characters for the future. It's very character building is very emotional.
Yes.
But there's nothing like long term, like as we said, spoiler alert. Like for instance, Steve is not back forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one story. He comes back because of this object, and he has to go also because of this object and the consequences of the wishes.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we find, that's like the great evil that she has to defeat. In this one is that this object, it comes from the gods, but it comes from the god of lies. And so like she does all this research to figure out like, you know, where it came from. She finds out it's from the god of lies and realizes she has to destroy it. She has to end this. But in the meantime, Maxwell Lord is like granting wishes left and right. And whenever he grants a wish, there's a cost that people don't realize. She realizes that the cost for her wish is that she starts to lose her powers. Barbara Minerva gets her wish. She becomes like Diana. She has all the like the beauty and she has this like super strength and all these abilities, but she loses her humanity, like all of her goodness and her joy and her warmth and sincerity. And Maxwell Lord is starting to lose everything. So as he's granting more and more wishes and accumulating more and more power, the world is descending into chaos. And so Diana has to figure out how to stop this. But then, of course, Barbara Minerva doesn't want this to happen. She wants to hold on to all the power. And for me, this point, the middle of the movie, is where the writing started to get a little rocky. There were some awkward conversations and some like back and forth. It wasn't as clean or as tight as the first one was. It just got a little sloppy to me in the middle. But the character growth was...
Like what?
Like they go and they... Okay, so they track down this guy... what's his name? Ravi Patel? In the movie, his name is Frank Patel. Anyway, they track him down because he has a book this ancient book that describes a stone. And so Diana tracks him down about the same time that Barbara tracks him down. But the way they're talking, it's like the last time that Diana and Barbara had talked about this artifact, they were both like, oh, it's nothing. But now this time there's something like, oh, this is very serious. We have to destroy it, but there's no... It doesn't really make sense, like, who knows what, and do they know that each other made wishes? Do they know about the powers that they have? It's very strange. Not very strange. It just got a little rocky, I thought. That's all. In the meantime, we see that Diana's developing powers, like, she's trying out some things that her father did, like that Zeus did, like how Zeus made Themyscira invisible. She uses the same trick to make a jet invisible so that she can fly away with Steve, so we get to see the invisible jet. And then Steve talks about how wonderful it is to fly, and she's like, man, I could never figure this out. This is just incredible to me. But then later she does learn to fly. She uses her lasso in all kinds of new in crazy ways, but I thought the most incredible growth for her was at the beginning kind of the third act, where she realizes that, Steve realizes that if she's going to save the world, if the world is going to be saved from this chaos and violence and horror that is brought on by this artifact and by Maxwell Lord, she has to renounce her wish, and she has to choose to let Steve go. And she chooses it. She renounces her wish, and you can see all of her powers start to come back. That's when she flies. this is the part where I cried. And I think the best thing about this movie is Diana's growth as a person and as a hero. Yeah, there's that. I just rambled for a long time. It was a beautiful movie.
Yeah, no, it was was really good. And they play again on the whole villain, empathy for the villain, you know, the motivations of the villain are not completely evil, which it's still not as good as having a bad villain, a bad guy villain. But this one kind of works. At least
I feel like with this one it wasn't so much like, oh, they're not evil, but it's just that they're not irredeemable.
At least as the movie ends, it kind of looks like we're not sure what happened to the villains, if they remain villains or if they redeem. It kind of like in the Maxwell Lord's case, it kind of looks like, oh, he unwished everything. He did it wrong, and now everything is fine. Which is like,
I think he's done. I'm not convinced that Cheetah's done.
Yeah, but she did lose. She did unwish, right? She lost her powers.
She did, but the way she got her powers in this was very different from the way she got her powers in any comic book or other animation that I've seen. So I think there's definitely room for them.
Yeah.
Just the way they wrote her character, and also just the way comic books work, there's definitely room for her to become Cheetah again.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that, because I thought Kristin Wiig was incredible, and the whole Cheetah Wonder Woman thing is such a cool dynamic.
Yeah. So what else? The movie has some clear references to Richard Donner's Superman. It's like there's one scene that they talking about things that are going on in the planet, and Diana's like, I don't have a TV. It's straight out of Superman when Perry and Lois and Clark are having a conversation, and they say something. I was like, see, you didn't see this? It's like, yeah, no, I don't have a TV. And they play on the nostalgia for the 80s, and there's a lot of 80s clothes, 80s hair, 80s music.
But it wasn't overdone. I was worried it would be distracting.
No.
But I thought it was nicely done.
It's fun and funny, all measured and properly.
It's a much more colorful and brighter than the last one, which makes sense because of the time period. But like even her armor is a much truer like red and blue. Yeah, and it's a in the first one she was fighting to end the war that would end all wars. You know, this great human tragedy. Humanity had no help me. Had no hope. And she comes with love and save and realize that yes, mankind has hope, and because of love and because of her love, and she find out that there's love in humanity, in mankind. So there's this whole play on love. On this one, her fight is about. It's not as dark as fighting the war to end all wars. No. It's about mankind and reality, truth, you know. Yeah. And she learns that since the beginning. Yeah, we have a flashback to Themyscira in a moment when she's a little girl, and Antiope and Hippolyta teach her about how important the truth is, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not. Even if it doesn't make you happy right then, that nothing is more important than the truth.
Yeah. And that's why she chooses to let Steve go. Yeah. Because the truth is the world needs Wonder Woman, especially at that time, to save the world from that stupid, crazy crisis. And yeah, she had to let him go because he died, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
And
So I think there's truth, but then also sacrifice, too, which is a nice counterpoint to the materialism of the 80s.
Yeah. And she beats the guy, even though she's super strong, super fast, and super powerful. And there's some pretty crazy stunts, including one in the desert when she is under a truck moving and she kicks the truck to the air and then jumps through over the truck.
Yes.
But she beats the guy, the main guy, the villain, the antagonist. Appealing to mankind's conscience, to mankind's good heart, to fix what they've broken.
She shows them. She uses the lasso to show them the truth of what's happening, and then like you said, appeals to their humanity, appeals to their better nature.
Yeah, even to the bad guy himself.
Yeah.
That has a son, and that's another element to show that he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Which,
it's pretty bad, but there is some good in him, and she's able to reach
which
that.
These days is more than overdone. You know, it's like pretty much every villain they try to justify the villain, and they, you know, yeah.
I'll let it slide for this one though.
What else?
I don't know. I loved after she renounced her wish, she finally learns how to fly. Which was a beautiful moment and a nice visual. That there's that phrase, the truth will set you free, and what's more free than flight? So she accepts this truth, she renounces, she sacrifices, and then she's able to fly. And then there's the whole lasso and the lightning thing. Oh, so cool. Kristin Wiig as Cheetah was very good. I've heard some criticism saying they just can't take Kristin Wiig seriously because her whole career she's been just such a brilliant comedian.
That's baloney. She's been to dramatic roles. I think Skeleton Twins, and there's...
and also she just did a really good job. So get over yourself and just enjoy what she gives here.
If anything, it's tough for some people that are really funny to not be funny. And on this one, there's like very, very, very few moments of when she's funny. And she's not even funny. It's kind of tragicomic, you know. It's like...
It is. Like you feel sorry for Barbara.
Yeah. And it's kind of like a loser. But it's not even like funny. So now she does act. She's able to do drama.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I feel like I could talk for a while about it, but we already have, and really you should just watch it. So it's out in theaters, and it's on HBO Max. HBO Max,
yeah. Stick around for the credits. There's a...
Yes.
I mean...
There's like a mid-credit scene.
You're on the spoiler alert, but... Yeah. Linda Clark. Is that her name? Linda?
Linda Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
The original Wonder Woman from the TV show. It's back as a mythological character called Asteria.
Yeah.
So it's like a Wonder Woman before the Wonder Woman.
A different Amazon.
Yeah. And
the original bearer of the golden armor.
Pretty cool to see her. Yeah.
Yeah, so great movie. Enjoy it. And they've officially announced a third.
Yeah.
So Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot will be back for a third installment.
Yeah, and the movie is making a lot of money. It's probably the best opening weekend since this whole pandemic thing is going on.
Which, to be fair, is a very low bar, but it's still encouraging and good to hear. All right. Moving on to some news.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So Wonder Woman's getting a third one. But Patty Jenkins is going to be busy because she's also doing Rogue Squadron for Disney. And they were talking to Chris Pine about it?
No, it's not. Well, she talked to him about it.
Yeah.
But
not like to cast him.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
But what he said, it was like he was talking about the story and he was talking about her. He was not denying or confirming his involvement.
Okay.
And he said he was like super excited for her, super excited for the story. And who knows, maybe it might happen to have him, to have her.
Cool.
Directors like to cast and work with their friends. So
and he's a good actor.
It would be cool to see him piloting X-wing, A-wing, B-wing, or new ships, because since it's Star Wars and it's Disney, they most likely will develop new, for trademarking, copywriting toys and make money, and not giving any money to Lucas.
I guess they decided the $4 billion they paid the first time was enough.
Yeah.
All right. Cobra Kai has moved up to Friday?
January 1st.
Yeah, that's Friday.
As the fireworks go off and the year changes, boom, Cobra Kai is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Season 3. And it looks good.
It does. The trailers are promising. They're just really going all in on this, like, forget the whole good guy, bad guy thing, and there's just some guys trying to figure things out, and kids. Anyway, it looks great.
Yeah.
Maybe this is going to give us a good motto for 2021. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cobra Kai coming out on Friday. What else? Oh, Boba Fett. We'll learn more about the Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett will be a 4-part miniseries. So, it's not clear if it's going to have more seasons, but if it's 4-part, I think it's going to be one.
That's usually like a
one set story.
Yeah. What do they call it? A one-shot? One
shot would be one. It's 4.
It's 4. Never mind. Alright, anyways. That's pretty cool. DC is going to be doing 2 movies a year for HBO Max?
Yeah, there's some announcements, rumors, news about DC and HBO Max. They would release 2 DC original exclusive movies to HBO Max and 2 big movies for the theaters. So at least 4 DC movies starting 2022.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Since next year we're gonna have Batman, we're gonna have Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Yeah. Well, and Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
Yes. Okay, and while we're talking about sequels, Michael B. Jordan is coming back to direct a 3rd Creed film.
Yeah, I don't know how I was gonna do it because the second one for me before I watched it, I was like, what's gonna do? It's like the first one was pretty much an ending to the whole Rocky saga, and then they brought back Drago, and there was that whole thing again, humanizing the villain. Anyways, they did a terrific job in the second one, but the third one, okay, let's see.
Yeah,
so I hope it'll be good. Maybe they're gonna resurrect Mr. T, Cloverland now.
Maybe.
Yeah, Tessa.
I don't know.
Tessa, I think that's the name. Tessa Jones.
Tessa
Thompson. Confirmed that in an interview this week.
All right. We're all waiting for what could be $600, what could be $2,000. We don't know. But in the meantime, the film industry is supposed to get some
$15 billion on this new COVID relief bill, which is the bill is a mess for so many reasons. It includes,
these kinds always are.
It includes they put a lot of stuff there. Someone posted something saying that the word missile, rocket, it's 15 times on the bill. Yeah. There's also something about the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama. It's like, it's very crazy. But yeah, the film industry will receive $15 billion for it, which is probably way too much since they could overcome that. They did that before, and they probably will do that again. They would not need that much money, especially because they already working out there. You know, California shut down. Let's shoot in Utah. Let's shoot in North Dakota. Let's shoot where it's safe and we can work. Let's shoot in Europe and the places that are open. So $15 billion, it's way too much. But they're gonna get their money. Let's hope they're gonna use well.
Yeah, use
which they might not. Who knows? last but not least,
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's is serving a sandwich with Oreos and Spam.
Now, I'm all about the salty sweet, but this does not sound like the right kind of salty or the right kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But if you're at a McDonald's in China, you can order it, so...
Yeah, China of all places, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
they're the lucky ones.
Yeah. The Happy Meal
Oreos.
comes with bats and COVIDs.
Oh my gosh.
And with that, we close our episode in our year.
In our year.
And Happy New Year.
Yes.
See you next year with more news
Mm-hmm.
of entertainment and pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And thrilling commentary.
We'll see. Maybe we'll see Cobra Kai before next episode. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. So, may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.